Hello everyone, it's Dash of Dave here and I'm back for another crafty video. So remember this is our curiosity folio. We fastened the signature in last time. I did say I was going to tighten it, but I haven't done. I'm not sure it needs tightening. I think it's just going to have a bit of a hangy thing there. I'm worried about if I tighten it too much, A, I don't want to bend it, or B, I don't want to like tear through the reinforcement. So what are we going to do today? So I'd like to put something on here and maybe have something on the front. So at the moment I'm going to do something for here. Now what I was thinking is I'd quite like to make a library pocket. There's one I made earlier. It says every great maker ever on TV. They always used to have one made earlier. Blue Peter, I remember it from. So, and sorry about my hands. My hands are very dry at the moment, but I keep moisturising them. Nothing I can do. So, so if they look a bit flaky, that's why. So, another thing. I'm currently without any kind of internet connection. My internet provider doesn't believe it'll be fixed for another 10 days, so I'm hoping to get this uploaded while I'm at work. So, but there is a podcast. Well, currently there's a podcast missing from Saturday because it's Sunday today, from yesterday, and that's because I couldn't upload it. Yeah, hopefully that'll have been resolved by the time that you see me next. Sorry about, I'm wearing my crafty hoodie so that I can craft and not get things all over every clean item I own. So I'd like to make something like this, but I kind of want it to more fill the area. Well, I think I want it to fill the area. I don't want it to kind of obliterate the area, I guess that's what. Or I could put it underneath this. Again, don't want to obliterate it. Well, I don't think I could, like, you're not really going to see it unless. I think actually that would be nice if you had something under there, and it's a bit more interactive, isn't it? So maybe we'll put that there. We might put it on the front of there. We don't know. Okay, so we're going to make a tall one. So what I thought was, this is packing from Amazon. So it comes in these, well, this isn't a long sheet, but it comes in sheets that are perforated down the middle, that they tear off whenever they need some. And it was all scrunched up into a box, and I unscrunched it, laid it all out flat, and put it under some books to flatten it down. So, ever the recycler me. So I was thinking I'd like to use maybe this. I thought one panel might be a bit narrow. So if you think like that, I think it's just a bit narrow. So I thought I might utilise the perforation and have the perforation kind of down the middle. I think it'll be too wide if I do it like that. It'll definitely be too wide if I do it like that. So I think I'm going to bring it in a bit. So it's going to be like the equivalent of the width of 1 and a bit. So rather than 1.5. So I don't know whether I'm going to cut the piece off. How wide do I want it to be? So I'm going to have this one inside here. We want it to be within the boundaries. I reckon like that. So I'm not going to faff too much. What I'll do is I'll bring it in a little bit further in than I think I'm going to want it, because I've still got those magnets to kind of sit round. See, this kind of sits a bit, I'll just show you this. It sits a little bit proud of the backboard itself. You can see further down by the magnets, because the magnets stick out from the back. So there is some capacity behind it without stopping the magnets working. And I also want it to be a real journey of discovery. As you look through this, there's new interactive little bits that you don't know are there, and like I'm just going to talk with my hands and everything's going to be absolutely glorious. So that's what I'm thinking. Oh, just pack that away, need it. Pack that away, need it, Dave. We want it to sit within the boundaries of the magnets, Dave. So we want it to be kind of like that. maybe. Well, let's go and see. So just take this off. So if I flatten that bit down, I've got more of this, so I don't have to worry about it. Although I am worried I might use it all. I'm going to have to cut some off, I think. So do you understand what I mean? I want it to be quite a tall thing, so you get like a big, you know, a big bit of something in there. So we want it to be kind of as tall as this. So obviously we're going to have a bit that folds up at the bottom. Let's just do that. You see, I'm just marking in all of the lines at the moment. So it'll sit sort of like that and to about there. So I'll just fold that down like that. Okay, cool. So put that back on there. I'll fold that up for the time being. So this is the first one. So it is just it's kind of just a little bit over 1, isn't it? I wouldn't be able to make it out of 1. No, look, if that's the back panel that we need, this is where this comes to. It wouldn't be sufficient to come round and join back up in the middle, so we did need 2 pieces. So that's our shape. Let's just put those lines in. Let's score them in, Dave. Score in all of those lines, and then that just means that I can see them better for when I'm cutting. And then that's the one that's the line I need to cut off at. Although I thought I might do something a little bit quirky with the top bit. I don't mind the line being off centre. Some people might, but I don't. And I need a pair of scissors now. So I need to check that it's recording because I've had so much technical issues go on over the last few days. Who knows? Right, okay. Oh, sorry. Just realised that's the top of the thing that we want. But we don't want the library pocket parts to come all the way up, do we? Let's cut these bits off first, and we'll come cross that bridge when we come to it. So I'm just going to cut it slightly away from, so slightly on an angle on that bit, and then slightly away from the line. So the line is here, and I'm just cutting like 1/8 of an inch, 2 millimeters away from the line, just so that this piece, when it folds over, it doesn't get in the way of everything. So look, see, that's where the fold is, and I've cut away from that edge. And the same on this side. Well, it seems to be that today everything is just not going to go perfectly because the light. I don't know what's going on with the light today, but I seem to be getting in my own light. I remember my grandma used to say, "Get out of my light," and I used to think, what? My light? Oh, I see. I was stood casting a shadow over whatever she was doing, basically. Story in my life, casting a shadow over people's people's projects. So I don't know where I want if that's the height of it, let's just fold it over so it's the right height. So I would like it to be about, I don't know, the pocket part of it wants to come to about there, I think. Whatever that is, I don't know really what the measurements are. So it measures almost 11 inches high, and that's about 5, so that's like just under halfway, isn't it? 5.5 would be halfway. Yeah, so just under halfway, I think. Is that right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, 6. So, yeah. So that's where I want it to kind of come to. I've marked a line, I can't actually see it now. Why have I done that? See, look, this is what happens. So there it is. Put it in pencil line now. So I want to fold this over. I'll fold it over on the bit that I've got, and I want to cut this bit out, and I want it to be fairly straight. So I'm not cutting the back part, I'm cutting just the front, and I want to just see if I can get that pencil mark on a line. Still feeling fairly squared up. So I've popped that there, and then I only cut from where the perforated line is down. I should be cutting the bit off that I want. Like I say, I've got more if it's all goes hideously wrong. So that's that, and then that means then I want to cut that line off as well, which I believe is that. No, it's not. It's not the same line on both sides. Of course, that would be silly if it was in the middle, wouldn't it? So I'm going to just cut these bits off. I'm going to butt that up to that line. I can always trim it down a bit more if it's overhangs more than I want it to. I want to cut the actual crease off, which I think I've done. I think I have. And then cut that off. So because I hadn't thought about it being not the same on both sides, I've kind of cut into there, but we don't mind that because we can play with that part. I know it looks ridiculously long now, but remember, we're not having the whole of that. That's going to be folded over. And the reason I'm going to fold it over is I think I might want to put a little kind of pocket glassine kind of window in there, just to make it a little bit more different, because you know, it's not different enough in my liking, for my liking. So we want to cut some of this off because it's too much. It's going to be too bulky at the bottom otherwise. Cut that bit off. If that's going to go to there, that's going to come round here. We want to cut to where that line is. Sorry, next door's had visitors, so they're all saying goodbye. If you can hear them in the background. So, and we're going to snip that bit off. I'm not worrying about this being a straight line, so not using my blade because I don't need to. This one I want a bit more. This is the one that's going to sit on the outside. I want it to look a little bit straighter, but it doesn't have to be perfect because, oh, is it that way around? It's that way around actually. It doesn't have to be perfect anyway. It is a wonky line, but it was handmade, so in the factory. So I'm going to round this corner. I'm not going to bother rounding this one because you're not going to see it when that folds up. So I'm just going to snip that corner if indeed I can get it to snip. I know I seem to use a different corner around it every time, but this one's just hand. Is that in? It is. It's not very well, didn't round it very well, but it'll do. So, and then we're going to round these corners, and I know they're slightly off being square, so they're not going to be perfect, but no, you see, that's what you get from being silly, Dave, and trying to snip something that is only one slice, one thickness. That's what I mean. See if I can use these ones less fiddly. Don't want that as rounded as that. That's what you get for being a fool, Dave. Yeah, that's perfect. That's just the kind of shape I wanted. And of course, he would say that because you can't prove otherwise. So. And then that needs to fold in there because I can't get it in the thing otherwise. Why can't we find the corner? Why is the corner gone? The corner is absent without leave. Where's my corner? No, that's alright. It'll do. It's kind of roughly shaped. It's fine. And then I think I'm going to shape the top anyway. So what I'm going to do is I think I want to cut a hole in the front of this, and I think I want it in the back as well. I don't know. So what I was thinking is having a hole in here that you could put something behind, but I don't know whether I want something behind. I want a hole in it, but I'm just trying to think if I want it through the two. And it's just like radio silence while I decide. So, should I? Maybe something like that. Just because it makes it a little bit different, I guess, is what I'm thinking. There is no real rhyme or reason to it. I guess it would look better if there was a pocket in the bottom bit. But I don't want a pocket in the bottom bit. The whole point is I want to be able to see some of the background when you take the thing out. Yeah. So I'm going to have it there. That's what I'm going to do. So let's make sure it goes through my die cutter, because if it doesn't, it's not happening, because I don't have a bigger die cutter at present. I wasn't planning to make a hole, so I didn't get my die cutter ready. So you'll have to bear with while I rummage under my desk for my die cutter. Could do with a bigger box, to be fair. But it suffices. So if I put that kind of about there, is that going to go through two pieces of? Yep, it is. Maybe I should glue the thing together first. No, I'm going to do this first. I'm going to be unruly and just like me, really. I think there. I'm not normally worried about it being straight, but for some reason this is going to trouble me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this, kind of put that on a line, and then get that kind of equidistant from the line. And I don't know, somebody tell me. No, don't tell me, it's fine. I'll do it my way. I did it my way. Right, so now what I need to do is I need to get some washi tape, and I've had some washi tape somewhere. I had it, but stupid boy. I don't believe that. I got it on my finger. What on earth, Dave? What on earth are you doing? You should try living with me. No, don't, honestly. You don't want to try. There are many that have tried and failed, and they are now hospitalised as a result of trying to live with me. There we go. So, have had that on my finger. Well, I can, after the day I'm having. Anything's possible. So I'm going to pop that on there. And we're going to put that on there. I'm going to stick this through there. And so there. I love that whole cracky, snappy sound that you get with the die cutter, where you feel like, you know, the first time that you ever used one and you think, oh, I've broken it. Is it supposed to make that noise? I love that. I feel it's a real ASMR moment for me. Oh, come on. Peely. So, that's basically what I wanted. Basically. I should have done my moustache this morning because I keep eating it. So, it doesn't taste very nice, I will just point out. So, yeah, so that's what I wanted. And now, I'm glad I didn't stick it down, because actually that would be the perfect place to put the whatever it is I'm going to use in there. So, I was thinking maybe something like from an envelope. So maybe I could actually just use a window from an envelope. Just bear with while I find an envelope. I will start again, Dave. I will be very honest with you. I've got loads of envelopes. One is never struggling for an envelope in my house. Well, you are if you want to post anything. If you just want to cut something up, you're fine. These are all kind of rescued envelopes. I want a fairly big. Oh, there we go. Maybe that one. Yep, that's perfect. Sun Life over 50s plan. You get to a certain age and then all of these marketing companies go, right, we're going to send you all of the crap through the post now because you're over 50 and like you're obviously going to have loads of kids that, you know, all need feeding if something happens to you. So I'm just going to make sure that we get all of our bases covered and you've got a plan sorted out. So anyway, they're lost on me because like every one of them, like the over 50s plans, say things like, have you planned for your family should something happen to you? No, because I don't care. Because I won't be here, and if all they do is they pop me in the recycling bin, I really won't care. You know, I'm not looking for a dignified funeral. It means nothing to me. This means nothing to me. Oh, Vienna. And they'll have enough money to bury me, so if they choose not to spend that money on burying me and decide to go off on a trip round the world, then so be it. I will not be here to complain. This is my philosophy of life. You know what I should have done? You're all going to say this, and I'm sorry, but I should have inked it first. So let's just park that. Oh, I made sticky fingers. Not Steamy Windows, which was the song that was going through my head. So Sticky Fingers. I don't think Tina Turner sang about sticky fingers. I think I think ground espresso is a little extreme. Maybe a vintage photo. I've got a new one somewhere. Somewhere. At the bottom. No, it's corduroy. Maybe. Oh, let's go for corduroy. Brushed corduroy. Is it brushed? Yeah, brushed corduroy. Wow, got it right. Not easy to work with because it's paper, but... And I've got ink, I've got glue on the front of it now. So, is that going to be okay? Yeah, that'll do. So, now I can... Where's my window? Sticky windows. No, again, that's not a Tina Turner song. Steamy windows, not sticky windows. That would take on a whole new meaning, and we'll go no further with that, Dave. Stop. Right now, thank you very much. Where do I want to go? It doesn't matter, Dave. Just stick it down and get on with it. Squidge it away from the thing, away from the window. Put a line of glue on there. Line of glue down here. Line of glue down there. I think everybody gets the point that I'm putting a line of glue on and a line of glue there. Coolio. So then that is going to go over there, so we can stick that down now. You're not going to see the back of this, so I'm not going to worry about doing the window. All the way over the surface. Just want to make sure it sticks down and it almost becomes a bit more cardboard like from the two pieces laminated together. Pop it over like that. Squish it down. Get one of my cards to go over it with. Cool. Yeah, that's great. Marvellous. So that's that bit. Let's move the junk out of the way, get off me. So now what we want to do is we want to have a little bit of a colouring on the edge of this. Just a bit of colouring. We don't want to be going too heavy, Dave. You mean like that? Just like that. You don't want to be going too heavy. He says going too heavy. I blame the Dormer. Not Ness and Dormer. I don't blame Ness and Dormer. Well, I guess you could. You could blame Ness and Dormer for anything you like. Sorry. I put myself off sometimes. I definitely put myself off. Maybe a bit more over the... Just a bit of a squidginess, dirtiness over that edge, and a bit on the edge of there. Nothing too heavy, like I say. That's fine. We can have a little bit over here as well. Bit of mottling on it. I don't care about the drubbiness of it. So cool. Okay, so what we want to do is stick this down now. Right, stick this together first, Dave. Put it on this edge. Fold it over and stick it down and do this bit. Fold that over, stick that down. Cool. So, yes, I am going to nip those corners. Just nip them out, like that. I think it looks a bit more utilitarian with the excuse me, with the window. Let's pull this back into shot for a moment. Take this out, see if it goes where we want it to go. That's going to go there, that's going to go over there. Perfect. Perfectimo. Mwah! So, let's get a bit of grindiness going. Not too much, Dave. Just a bit of a patina on it. Patina Turner. Oh, just because you think you're funny, Dave, doesn't mean to say that you are. It gives it a bit more of a, like a dirty manila envelope feel, if it's a bit more colour on it. And I know I've already put some other colour on, but that's to give it a bit of depth and dimension. Just don't want to get it too much on the window, because I see didn't wipe it off like I did last time. Never mind. We've got a dirty thumb mark there where somebody's picked it up with dirty fingers in that office. Of course, we've got now a very definite stripe line in there, but not a bad thing. There we go. So, sorry, doing a bit that mist I feel is a bit too light. And don't push down, Dave. I do that. I tell people off for doing that. I don't tell people off. Don't go around telling people. But if you push down on a brush, so if you're just doing it gently, you're actually getting the tips that are all nicely coated. But if you push down, you're getting the sides that aren't coated at all. So you don't get more on it from pushing down. You just need to do more strokes. So that's going to go in there. I am going to not bother with having anything to tuck behind it. I think I'm just going to have this one pocket. I mean, in theory, you could have... Oh, I don't know, should I? I could maybe have a tuck at the bottom of it. So let's put that on there. The problem is I don't want it to get in the way of the mechanism. No, I'm not going to bother. I'm just going to stick it all down. You see how much difference it is? I think it'll give it a bit more rigidity of doing it like this. Because it's only made of paper, so you know, it's not like you've made it from cardboard. So, oh, I was going to have that. Oh well, never mind. I was going to have that as a tuck, wasn't I? But do you know what? I've made a complete ear of pig of that. Oh well, it's just going to be stuck down now. It's just going to be an interesting thing with a window. Or I feel like that's a waste if I have it as an interesting thing with a window. I feel like that should be a place to tuck. Can't just stick that on there, Dave. You can't just stick that on there. Right, I'm gonna have to park that because Dave has been the first class Burke. Right, we're gonna have it there. That's fine. Let's get this. Work as quick as you can, Dave. More haste. Less speed. Right. Put it that way round. We'll find that little piece that we cut out. We've already got the washi tape stuck down. We're just going to try and remedy this as best as we can. And you, of course, won't have made an error with anything you do because you pay attention and I don't. See, I told you, even I can't live with me. My brain's gone out to lunch already, so. So, right, let's see if we can remedy this. Let's see how good I am at fixing my mistakes. I should be an expert. I've done it millions of times in my lifetime. So if we put that over there, yeah, so that's what we're going to do. We're going to stick that down over there, and then we're going to cut it out. So let's put this glue back on this bit. That is really stuck up in my nail. Get that on there. And then we're going to flip it over, and I'm just going to cut it out. And hopefully it won't be horribly visible. Especially if you don't cut on the line, inside the line, though, it won't be visible at all. Okay, that hopefully just do a bit of covering technique, covering my mistakes, which I've had to do a lot in my lifetime. So let's glue this again, because the glue, I fear, has dried. But you know, at least I keep my mistakes in. People like to see people make mistakes. Now you rectify them. Oh, just gone through the hole. Trying to get that glue out of there. Don't want to stick that down. And then this is going to go in from that side. So we want to go across the bottom here. Actually, we want to come a bit further up, back to here. I'm going to go a little bit down this side. And down there. Oh, get out that thing. Give it a bit of a pinch so you can see where the pocket bit is. And stick that down. Perfect. Amazeballs. Even with mistakes, it turned out fine. Okay, so that's that one. Let's move these bits out of the way. No, don't do that, Dave. Try and be a bit tidier. Right, get rid of these bits. Now, I think I want to have another one. I'm going to do this one slightly different. Again, because, you know, all the twists and turns. So, for this one, I'd like another pocket. And I think I thought about using this. Now, that's the outside cover, isn't it? Do I want it on the outside cover as a bit of mark of interest? Right, I'm going to make it, and then we'll see where we're going to put it. Again, I want quite a narrow one. So what I was thinking of is using this. Now I'm going to just tear this off, and hopefully it won't tear the piece that I want. Now, what drew me to this was this beautiful colour, because it went quite nicely with the string. But I thought if I did this and folded it over, you could have this bit in the background and then this bit in the foreground. So you could have the pocket made of this. I'm trying to explain that. Let's see if I can. Some of you may have just gone, yeah, oh, I know exactly what you mean. Other people will be, no idea what you mean. So this back bit would be this back bit and down into the pocket, and then this would be made of the music paper curled round, or vice versa. If you did it this way, you could have this as the background and this as the pocket. And I just thought, I really like the idea of that. Thing is, I liked that bit. I thought it had a bit of a retro feel to it. So I think that's what I'm going to do, and it's going to be a narrow pocket. I completely get that, but I think narrow is better in this journal. There are a lot of narrow spaces, so I think if I do it like that, I'll just crease that in. Where did my and then do this on this side. And then fold this up here, like that. The bottom bit. And do I want it? I don't need it any shorter, so that should be fine. We just need to decide where we want the pockety bit. I had a pencil. Definitely had a pencil there. I spent my life doing this. I definitely had a pencil. Where is it? No, that's not them. That's the one I'm looking for. Ruler. So if that's that height, that's going to be. Oh look, it's just over 11 again. So I think, therefore, I am again maybe at 5. Yeah, I think maybe at 5. Actually, it's on that line. It's on that line there. So let's open this back out again. I'm going to cut this down. So what's that going to show me if I do that? I've just drawn a line there. Yeah, it's going to have organ adventure on it. That's fine. Although organ adventure does sound like it's something to do with organ harvesting, so or a horror movie about organ harvesting. Neither of which would be up my street, to be fair. Do not like horror movies. I have no interest in any jump scare. Thanks. You can keep your jump scares. Oh, it's not published in 1973. That's the reason why I guess it's got that kind of a retroism to it. Because it wasn't retro at the time. It was a thing. So again, we're going to just find this line. So if I pop that on that line, because I know that line is flat because it's the bottom of the thing, whereas these lines might not be because I cut them. Find that pencil line. It was on here somewhere. There it is. So I could just use that line and cut that line off. And again, I'm only going to do it this side of the back part and that side of the back part. That's the line there. There, and then that's the line there. So just keep my finger there, but don't cut into my finger, Dave. And then we can cut those bits off. Now, actually, I'm going to cut them off with a blade. Where are they? There. Cut that off. I want to cut it off, so I'll turn it round. So what I do is I just bump this up to that score line. Where's it coming down to? There. I just like to know where it's coming down to, so that as a visual, so that I can stop or slow down before I get there. So what I'm thinking is this is how it's going to look. I like that. Yep, I like it. Organ adventure. So the organ harvesting for zombies. Okay, so let's give it an inky pinky. Inky pinky. Where's the... I've definitely got... There it is. Of course, it has to be the last thing that you come to. Has to be. What's that going to look like on there? Nice. I haven't decided which side is going to be the overlap. Which do I want to overlap to there, that way or that way? Or I like the shaggy edge. So that's the one that you're going to see. And I think it could do with a bit of a yellowing because it looks too new. I know it's been around since the 70s, but somebody's obviously kept it very well. This was just a bundle of music paper that I bought from the charity shop. All very similar kind of design. Well, no, I think they're all the same design, just in different colours. But I really liked this orange. There was another one in the same orange. I think it was called the Emperor's Waltz. And this one's called something I can't pronounce. That. I'm not even going to try saying that because like somebody will laugh their socks off at my terrible pronunciation of words I can't speak. Okay, so we're going to snip the corners off again. I'm going to learn my lesson. I'm trying to learn my lessons. I don't always. There we go. Cool, that's those. I want to snip, which one side about doing that bit? We're going to snip that corner, so let's just double that up as well. Put that underneath actually, it's easier. Brilliant, and then we're going to do the same on these bits. Again, just double the thickness. And on this side. Cool. So that's how it's going to look. I think that looks marvellous. Marvellous, absolutely. Right, okay. So what I do think is I might have a bit of yellowed tape on this one somewhere. Don't know. I did do some more yellowed tape here. I made some that are a bit more yellowy looking on my tape. Maybe some of this because it's a bit narrower. Dave. I actually want it to be a bit wonkier, so just rip it. I see that was no change. Rip it. Let's maybe have a bit like that. Actually not as yellow as I thought it was going to be. I'll peel that off again now. It's almost like I didn't actually ink that one. Maybe I didn't. So maybe go for a different one. Maybe this. This is much yellow. This is more the colour I want. Just do that. Rip it. Cool. Fine. In fact, actually, I think I'm going to use this end. Stick that on there. Because I only did it yesterday, it hasn't lost its stick. So, just sat and did it while I was prepping for my videos. So, fact, I could probably have another piece. Maybe that piece there. And I might just tear it that way. It's a little thicker than that, Dave. Don't do this to me. Thank you. I think. No, I think that's too long. I want it to look repaired, not like it was stuck down completely. So it'll go on there. Yep, that's fine. Do that. Stick it like that, and then I'll stick it all down. Right, so stick this down with, get a bit of extra on that edge. Don't think I'm going to do anything with the back. Actually, let's just give it, maybe just give it a bit of a tease. Just on some of the edges. Not really going to see it on this, but, and it's, we already know it's of an age. We don't have to age it, so I don't even know whether you can see a difference. Maybe you can, just a tad. Maybe go across that, especially go across the lettering, because we need it to look more yellowed. Yeah, that's fine. Cool. Okay, so I'm going to go over with this page. There isn't a huge overlap, so I don't want to go too much with the glue. Like that, and then glue this. Put some on like sticky tape just to hold it down. Hold that over. Stick it down like that. Oh, I love that. I love it. Love it to do. Oh, I bought a new phone yesterday. So I'll say bought. I upgraded my phone because I'd had my other phone. I had an iPhone XS Max for 6 years, so I've definitely squeezed the life out of it. But I bought myself a iPhone 15 Pro, and all it does is it just makes noise at me all the time. Although I've got no internet, so I don't know why. I know it's connected to my cell network, so my cellular data. So that's what I want. I don't know whether I want it on there though. Could maybe have it on the back of there. I just wanted it. That's what I wanted. I'm not sure about it going on the front yet. Maybe I come back and decide. We can have always put it somewhere. We can just keep it inside for the time being, can't we? So we can just pop it in there. What's in there? Yeah, we can just pop it in there for now, and then we can decide. So yes, that's it. So that's what we've done today. 2 of the kind of library pocket style envelopes. So I hope that has been a joy, bit of entertainment. You know, thanks for being here. Even if I, drive people mad with the fact that I can never find anything. I either can't find the pin for the end of my glue, or I can't find my marbles. I never had them, to be fair. Or washi tape, strangely, on the end of my finger. So I just feel like my mum's going to be saying something, in my mind. My mum would be saying, you don't look as far as the end of your nose. So, oh no, you only look as far as the end of your nose. That's the thing she used to say when I was looking for something, because I never found it, and she'd go, it's here. So, anyway. So, thank you for that. Thank you for spending some time with me. My name is Dash of Dave. If you have enjoyed this video, please, there is one way to tell me that, and that's to give it a thumbs up. And it also tells YouTube that you liked it too. And yeah, so if you're new here, subscribe. If you're not, you know, thanks for being here. Thanks for just showing up and keeping me grounded. All right then, folks, thanks very much. And I will see you all in the next video. So my name is Dash of Dave, and I love you all without exception, until you give me a reason not to. So don't give me a reason not to, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care, folks. Lots of love. Lots of hugs. And if nobody's told you today, I think you are amazing. Bye.